The all-new WMEG Radio.
And welcome back to Business in Motion, a program that focuses on business and entrepreneurship from an Afrocentric perspective. I'm your host, RGL Biz Coach, and you are now in the spotlight with Father John Claude Adosmesu from Kinshasa, Democratic Republic of Congo. And you're still there, Father?
I'm here.
Okay, got you. Very good. One thing I want to ask if you can elaborate, for just a little bit, and that is the Congo River. I've heard about this Congo River being the deepest river that's in the world, and I think it's second or third longest river in the world, and it has the power to electrify. If utilized correctly, it can provide electricity through the whole continent of Africa. Can you speak on that?
Yes. The Congo River is the second largest river in the world, and this river has the dam. We are building what we call the Inga Dam. When we finalize the whole project of the Inga Dam, the Congo River will be able to electrify the whole Africa.
Wow, that's going to...
It's a very powerful river.
So you're going to, and keep in mind, Africa has a population somewhere, 1.3, 1.4 billion people today, and I know it is the fastest growing continent that's on the planet. And if you're talking about being able to provide electricity to all of those people, it's definitely going to put you in a different financial situation as a country.
Yes.
Wow.
Because the Congo has the potential to electrify the whole Africa, to feed the whole Africa in the one big part of the world. The Congo has a lot of potential. That's why we are really working now. We are doing our economic gaming on making the Congo become an emerging country in less than 10 years.
That's just amazing. And I also read that not only can it provide electricity to the rest of the continent, but through irrigation and everything that's coming from that river, that same river, through agriculture, they can feed the whole continent.
Yes. With the potential of the Congo soil, with the water of the whole Congo, with the agricultural project, the Congo is able to feed the whole continent. That's why this time, the one thing we are asking for the world to help us with is peace.
Yes.
Before they made some kind of violence in the eastern Congo, giving the impression that Congolese were fighting against themselves,
right,
where it was not the truth. It was Rwanda who was attacking Congo to steal natural resources. And now we told Rwanda, enough is enough. We have one of the best army now in the Congo. When we decide to invade Rwanda, it will take us less than 3 months to take the power out of the hand of Kagame. We can do it. Today, we can do it with the new army we have today, the DRC Congo.
Well, I
think... We want us to call the world to help us to keep peace in the whole Congo, because it's time for us to rebuild Africa going from the Congo. And we don't want people to bring us war, militias, the way they have been doing it. They're doing that before. What we need is peace.
I agree with you on that. And I'm just hoping that the conflict of what's going on right now, because it's not a war going on, but I wish that it could be resolved between Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda through diplomacy. I just pray for that they can resolve it, because I would hate to see the two countries warring, going at each other. But I agree with you 100%. The Congo, with its new military, with its population, they could go in and just wipe it out. But I would hate to see that personally. I would rather for it to be resolved through diplomacy. I'll just put that out there. Anyway, I want to switch over. A while back, a few years ago, you called me and you told me that you had these new governors from the Democratic Republic of Congo, and you told me to come to meet, in which I did. I went there and we met. And what had happened, I think, you can correct me if I'm not right, but there were 15 provinces that were in the Congo before, and they decided to split some of those provinces into smaller provinces. and they came up with 11 more, and that meant that you had to have 11 governors to be able to govern each one of the provinces. And out of those 11, 8 were females. And we went there and met, and boy, I have never, ever forgotten the conversation and the dialogue that we had with those 8 governors. But speak on that, just speak on that, Summit. And one of the things, if you can talk about, is that we had talked about mining and everything there, but just talk about the mining potentials along and how mining works and how the government allows for its citizens to form cooperatives. And with those cooperatives, they can mine, and basically what they get, all they have to do is pay taxes on it, and the rest of it is theirs. Talk about that to the listeners.
Yes, really, the Congo has a lot of opportunities in mining. And it's a place where, as here, we need just to work together with the people there who have cooperatives to invest. So we don't need a lot. We need just some money to buy some excavators, some conquer. We want some like 2 equipment for each cooperative, and from there we can be making a lot of gold, because on those regions we will have what you call the Congo, the gold belt of Congo. But let me be a financial coach to let you understand how we can do miracles.
All right.
Just by investing a little money in those kind of programs. Let me tell you something. Really, the Congo can make each person who would like to join us in this movement to become a millionaire. I will explain. When we invest a lot of money, the little money we're going to invest will go to buying equipment for, like, first of all, discovering where we have the assets of gold underground, and digging to bring the gold out, and after that, processing the gold in the gold bar. Now, if we have a good investment with the gold bar we're going to have, guess what? We don't need to sell our gold bars. We can just take those gold bars, bring it to a good bank, and start building some asset in that bank. Out of that asset we're going to build, the bank can give us what we call a bank guarantee, because it's going to be based on our gold. With the bank guarantee, we can buy more equipment to bring more equipment to extract gold. With that, we can invest in housing. We can invest in infrastructure. We can invest in energy. And that is like a secret of your life we are bringing to you today. Find your way to join us and invest in that. Tomorrow you will never become poor. You will not be poor anymore. Let us work together in those mining investments, which gonna not require a lot at the beginning, but which gonna help us to build assets and to build the financial capacities. And with the financial capacities, the result, the profit, will help us to rebuild also the U.S.
That's what I'm talking about.
This is a nice place to be at this nice time.
Yes, it is opportunity. I mean, anyone who's listening, consider yourself very special to even be listening to this broadcast today. Now, this is going to go in, it's going to go on YouTube, it's going to go on website and everything. And, I have a consultant who's going to make sure that a lot of people are going to get to hear this program right here today. And I want to speak about the upcoming event, the Sankofa Business Alliance Gala, that is going to be on September 23rd. That's a Saturday from 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock right in Capitol Heights, Maryland. That's where it's going to be. And anybody can go to it, and you could just pull up Business Capital in Motion, and it'll take you there. You can see this, or you can go to Eventbrite, and you can see it there, the Sankofa Business Alliance Gala, and you can get your ticket. Now, what's getting ready to happen is this week, Father John Claude and myself, we're really getting ready to start pushing these ticket sales. They are limited. We can only bring so many people in. And the whole objective here is to bring that Congolese community that happens to be here in the United States or in this particular area, Washington, D.C. area, and to connect them with the other. Now, as you already know, my program is from an Afrocentric perspective. So my outreach is to the African American community. Now, don't get me wrong. Anybody is welcome to come. Anybody is welcome to invest. But there's so many others who are already familiar with the opportunities that exist there. I'm trying to bring light. I'm trying to be that beacon of light and to bring this information to you, African American, who doesn't know or wouldn't know how to get started to invest or how to be a part of mining concessions that's going on in the Congo. Now, is that pretty much correct, Reverend? Are you still there?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Now, I'm just kind of. Anyway, look. When you're saying a little money, okay, explain. Okay, for instance, what I want to do, I want to give a little bit of history. Remember when we mentioned to those governors about being able to raise some capital for those private mining concessions? Then the next thing, we knew we had a visitor who came from Congo, okay, to form a concession, to form a partnership. And then the next thing we knew, we had almost 100 of those concessions over there, those people who had those, to actually reach out to us about partnering. And then the next thing, we had the Minister of Mining reaching out to us. But just talk about that some, about, these potentials and how, it's not as tough as what a lot of people think it might be. Just speak to that for the listeners.
Yeah. And this experience like we had together last time after just talking about concession, and we had to explain to other people that we are willing to have a lot of partners who are going to invest, who are going to be working with us on their concessions. Just after calling, we had a lot of concessions, and a lot of people were willing to work with us. Some had concessions for agriculture, others for mining, and on the mining side, they had some documents showing that they had the reserve of gold, diamond, you name it. And that's really where we would like to be inviting you to come to our event, so that you're going to be listening and meeting with some of the people of the Congo also who are trying to do some kind of B2B, so that they can bring other people invest in their project in the DRC. Why not we can organize one day with you guys a trade mission where we can go to the Congo, a team of 50, and visit different provinces of the DRC, and we can be showing you where we are working already, and wherever you can join us to do the difference. Because now the new president of the DRC decided to develop DRC going from the down up, like going to the village, rebuilding villages, and after that coming up. And that's where really we're going to be working with you. We're going to be needing your support, your investment, so that you can work with us on those different projects.
Absolutely. And I think that's very brilliant, a very brilliant idea that the president has. It's like, let's work from a grassroots level and up. And that works perfectly with the Sankofa Business Alliance Gala and what the agenda is all about, because it allows you, if you're listening to this broadcast, or, make sure if you can't make it, or if you're not prepared, if there's somebody that make sure they are familiar with this and they make it to this event, because here is an opportunity where you can be engaged in business in which is going to be one of the fastest growing economies on the planet, and the wealthiest nation in minerals and resources in the whole world, while being right here in the United States. It's simply through these partnerships and through these joint ventures that will be created that's going to be a result of the Sankofa Business Alliance Gala. I mean, it is really revolutionary, to say the least. Yes. And, explain to the listeners what this gold belt. You had mentioned the gold belt, and I'm familiar with it because one of those governors, she stated that she governed the province that happened to sit right in the middle of the gold belt. Explain to the listeners what the gold belt is.
By doing the geological study of the DRC, they found out that in the eastern Congo, that where Kagame with all the multinational were trying to steal the piece of land and kill people, they were doing it because it's the studies are showing that there is a gold belt going from the northeast of the DRC to the southeast of the DRC.
Okay.
All these spots on the ground, there are a lot of gold. And that eastern part is called the gold belt of the DRC.
Very good, very good. And I know, see, because the one thing that was blowing my mind was when the governor was speaking and she made a statement. I'm going to tell you, this is a real statement she made that inspired me to write the book, because I've said I got to do something. I mean, if I'm hearing this, I can't sit and do just idly and do nothing. But she made a statement that there were people in her province that would get up on Monday morning and walk to a store to get a bag of groceries that could be 80 to 100 miles away. And they had to walk there to come back with a bag of groceries. And they were walking on this gold belt. And that just totally blew my mind. I said, because a typical American can't fathom that. They can't, I don't know, understand that. Do you feel that's correct, Reverend?
Yeah. That wasn't happening in the Congo. I guess one of the good stories, this one.
Yes.
We invited, the Congo invited around the 60s, the 70s to build a road around Walikale.
Mm-hmm.
Those Germans were building the road. They were building one piece of the road, and they got somewhere. They found out that they were on the gold belt.
Oh.
Guess what?
What happened?
Until today, the other piece of the road never been built.
Wow, because they hit the gold belt.
Yes. And during the 18 years when we had our former president Kabila, who is from Rwanda,
yes.
During those 18 years, that piece of road became an airport, which was not controlled by the Congolese government.
Who controlled it?
Kagame.
Oh my God!
That's where Kagame was sending his airplane, come, take cobalt, take gold, take copper, and the Congolese government didn't know what was happening there.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
So he totally enriching his country by way of those minerals, the gold coming from the gold belt, because the highway they hit the gold and decided to abort it. I can understand that. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to build the road on top of the gold belt. But he has been the one who's capitalized on that discovery.
Yeah.
That's just something. That is something else. Well, I'm glad that things have turned, and hopefully, which I already know, things are going to improve, and you're going to experience a lot of progress in the Democratic Republic of Congo, because the whole Africa, I'm looking at the whole continent right now, and it is shifting so quickly. I'm looking at what's going on in Niger. I'm looking at what's going on in Mali and Burkina Faso and ECOWAS and all these things going together. But one thing all of them are saying is, France, adios. It's kind of like, okay, France, you got to go. You exploited us enough, and enough is enough. And I know this one's kind of off subject, but I do want to speak about it, because I know it puts ECOWAS with Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso in a very precarious situation. It's like, you got policies as to what is supposed to happen in the event of a coup. They're not supposed to be any more coups, and you've got to restore order and everything. However, it's just bad if you got a leader who is a puppet to another government. Now, to me, I think there should be provisions within the policy to take into consideration what happens if our president, who we elected on a fair democratic election basis, happens to be advocating for a different country and not us. And I think that's what the citizens of Niger are complaining about, and as to why there was a coup. Just speak about that. Just give us your opinion about it. We only got a few more minutes left, but I'd like to hear your opinion about that.
Yeah, because what has been happening in Africa, even for you are who sometimes you are far away from the politics of Africa, you condemn some of the officials of Africa. They are doing nothing in their country. They are just stealing, and you know what is happening in Africa. The reality is those who are in power in Africa, they are made. They are made by some Western forces,
right?
With one condition: to serve them or not to serve their people.
Right.
When they see that they start serving their people, they kill them.
Wow.
You have the good story of Kwame Nkrumah. You have the good story of Thomas Sankara.
Yeah.
Now, those who are protecting the interests of the Western world, those who are now like the slaves to the Western.
Yes. Yes.
And because of the small power they have, they can kill their people in order for them to keep their power. And that's what the people of ECOWAS are doing. Some of the people of ECOWAS, you have Alassane Ouattara.
Yes.
That's the president of Ivory Coast. He can do nothing if France tell him not to.
Wow.
And Alassane Ouattara, in order for him to keep his power, he needs to please France. And it's the same like the president Sassou Nguesso of the Congo Brazzaville.
Yes.
Now, what is happening with the other countries? The countries like Burkina Faso,
yes.
Mali, and Conakry Guinea. They are telling the people of ECOWAS that enough is enough. Now it's time for Africa to stand alone and to take the benefit of the natural resources to build the economy of Africa. And they tell them, if one of you start attacking Niger, he's going to attack all of us.
Exactly.
And Algeria stood also for them.
Yes.
Algeria said, you cannot touch this country because 80% of the mineral which is making power in France are coming from Niger.
And
but to go to Niger, they don't have electricity.
They don't even have electricity.
They're not benefiting out their full reserve of those minerals which are making the nuclear power in France.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you what.
And
time.
So why it's like that?
Mm-hmm. Well, anyway,
they have the uranium. They have the best uranium in the world. But this uranium is just there to help French people to have electricity. When the people in Niger, they are very, very poor.
Extremely poor. But what I want to do, because the time has come, we've come to the end of our time. Only got a couple of minutes left here on the whole program. But I'll tell you, it has been a pleasure having you on. You have been very informative and enlightening to the listeners. And, you know, we're going to be talking more leading up to the event. We've got to make this a really good affair. The Sankofa Business Alliance galas. And there's just so much that Congo has to offer. So, again, thank you. And I will be talking to you real soon.
You're welcome. And thank you for me. And thank you to the listeners. We are there to help them to learn. And we are ready to coach them and to teach them.
Very good. All right, so listeners, you have it. There's Father Jean-Claude Adesumesu from Kinshasa, Democratic Republic of Congo, and he's going to be one of the keynote speakers at the gala. This, again, is coming up on September 23rd. That is on a Saturday evening between 6 and 10 o'clock. And I'll tell you, like I say, it's going to be it's going to be informative. You get to engage and to learn about business opportunities, but you're also going to have a good time because we're going to have that African drumming troupe coming from right out of Washington, D.C., but the drummers are from various parts of Africa. We're going to have a DJ. There's going to be food. It's going to be a very, very good event. So, and the rest of you, make sure that you follow me On Instagram, that is RGL Biz Coach. And Instagram and Facebook, RGL Real Estate Pro. And make sure to follow me on the Platinum. I'm sorry, not the Platinum Dynamic Institute. You can go to that website, but the Business Capital in Motion YouTube. Go to YouTube and check out that channel, Business in Motion, and you can get a lot of these shows because they actually get uploaded. So until next week, have a very good, I should say, make it a good week, and I hope that you're right back here next week at the same time. I will see you. Ciao, ciao.